This is InnMind channel with the best first-hand information for startup founders and tech entrepreneurs. And today we speak about startup fundraising and venture capital approach to the decision-making process while investing in technological startups. Our guest today is Vice President of very well-known in Europe venture capital firm, Da-Vinci Capital, Alexey Lukyanov. Hello, Alexey.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Alexey, thank you for being with us today. And my first question, can you please give a brief overview of Da-Vinci Capital main investment focus and positioning on the market?
Yeah, hello everyone, one more time. So Da-Vinci Capital is the Eastern European private equity fund and venture capital fund. It was founded in 2007. And now we are focusing on technological companies and fintech sectors. One of our well-known investment is the EPAM company, which was a local Belarusian integrator at the time when we invested in. And now it's 10 billion company listed in New York Stock Exchange. Now we are focusing on startups, on late stage technological startups. From Eastern Europe or with big offices and developers offices in Eastern Europe, especially post-Soviet countries, and with the global sales and global client coverage. So now we are in process of fundraising and in searching for pipeline for Fund 3. With European funds of funds, European LPs. And we are looking for startups, new tech stars, with which have based in post-Soviet countries like Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia, Armenia, and maybe headquarters or sales in the US, in Europe, and all over the world.
That's amazing. Thanks a lot for this brief intro. And I asked it because I know that you have quite a specific focus. You are investing in late stage and growing companies. What is your minimum maximum check of investments?
Well, our comfortable size of investments, it's from starting from $3-5 million. And we can also do big deals because we like to structure this with our LPs and with co-investors and do investment clubs with a total investment size up to $100 million. But the most comfortable size, it's from $5 to $20 million.
Mm-hmm. And you also mentioned that you are fundraising for the fund number 3. I've seen in the news recently this spring that you raised around 30 million already from some German partner. How big will be the new fund?
Well, we expecting that this fund will be the size of this fund will be $200-300 million. So yes, as you mentioned, our anchor LP will be DGKFW. It's German DFI. So and now we are in process of fundraising. So also looking at not only pipeline, but limited partners for this fund. And as we see, there is interest from global fund of funds in this investment focus. So because everyone understands that the current arbitrage in the price of developers in post-Soviet countries and in the US is quite big, and the guys who are doing IT and in the post-Soviet countries are quite smart. So, and this is an opportunity for doing money and doing high returns.
That's amazing to hear that, actually. But first of all, I need to make small announcement. Guys who are watching us right now, you see that not only startups, but also investors, if you want to become LP in Da-Vinci Capital, let us know. In the description of this interview, we will put the link to Da-Vinci Capital website and Alexey profile in LinkedIn, or just contact InnMind team and we will introduce you directly. And of course, startup founders, we will move later in this discussion into the focus of investment criteria, etc. If you want to pitch your project to Alexey, follow the description below. So Alexey, my next question actually was, why did you choose this focus? Because it is quite specific. Founders from post-Soviet space or Eastern Europe, we have a lot of startups with these kind of founders. But why did you choose it as a main focus?
Well, actually, when Da-Vinci was launched in 2007, we focused on Russian and CIS market because we have a Russian team and Moscow-based team. So, and we do investments in Russia until 2015, 2014, until Crimea crisis. So, and we have a lot of experience there. We know market very well. We know players, we know funds, we know startups here. And well, actually, I'm currently living in Moscow. So I am very close to Minsk, to Kiev, and other close cities. And we see that European and not only European, all Western investors not looking at the Russia, and some of them have afraid of sanctions and other negative stuff comparing to our country. Unfortunately, they are losing a lot of good team of that and a lot of good opportunities. But we see that other CIS market is very similar to Russia. It's these countries are CIS countries outside of Russia. Have more or less people with the same background, but they don't have a lot of big local market. So these teams are focused on global market from the start. They are not testing theories and hypotheses on the local market. And we decided that we can capitalize this opportunity and do investments here. And also we're communicating with the companies, and we see that there are a lot of big and good one and successful startups here from originated here.
Mm-hmm. You also mentioned the question of sanctions. Indeed, we also faced it a lot of times when we tried to initiate a deal between Russian technological company, especially if it works with some bigger Russian corporates and European, for example, investors. So how do you deal with this question? You have some extensive investigation and due diligence process in order to avoid any kind of problems with that, or you approach it in another way?
Well, actually, the sanctions are very limited in Russia. It's if we're talking about formal sanctions. And a lot of negative what we see, it's like informal. We're afraid of, our investment committees not recommend us to invest in Russia, but formally what is really prohibited, it's a very small part of companies and a lot of startups who are not working with the Gazprom, not working with the government. They are quite okay for investing. So we did some investments since 2014, and we don't see actually a really formal problem with sanctions, because even Sberbank, it's it's sanctions company under sanctions, but they have own venture funds which successfully do investments in the Silicon Valley. So it's there is a ways how to deal with that. So, and we just working in this reality, and we know how to work with them. And a lot of startups don't want to work with the government and other sanctions related companies, and trying to position far from all this stuff. So actually all startups help us to avoid this sanctions problem.
Yeah, when the politics touches business, it is always a disaster. I really appreciate that. And despite all this, you are still working in this area, bringing more sanity and good deals to the market. And speaking about the startups focus, so did I understand correctly that your prior focus is in the founders who are from CIS, Russia, and Eastern Europe, or it can be successfully developing a US startup with American and international founders, but with some R&D in Russia or Ukraine?
Yes, actually, it's good questions, and we don't limit it in that focus. So it for us, both examples are okay. So we are looking and for it to Russian or Russian-speaking founders, and if there are the US or UK founders who opened R&D office in the Ukraine or Belarus, it's okay too for us.
Mm-hmm. So quite a broad range in this aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's yeah, we're thinking it's good, but we are focusing not on we are focusing on late stage startups, so it's difficult to find the big companies in this area who are still working in this area, not completely relocated to the Silicon Valley, don't working with the Russian government, for example. So because you know we have several IT companies who are doing governmental contracts with ministers. They're quite big. They're providing good services, but you know they are not investable. And we see that some companies that are trying to work in Europe, in the US, and but they are not quite big, because we see also a lot of startups on the stage A or seed stage, but it's not our focus. We are more focused on B, C, and later stages.
Do you think it is minimizing your investment risk if you invest on this late stage?
Yes, because actually we are not engineers. We are financial analysts, and we are people with big experience in private equity, in structured some products, in trading. So, and we capitalizing our experience here, because where we can analyze models, financial statements, financial reporting, etc. Well, if we need to analyze some technology, so we have experts, but our key expertise, it's analyzing financials, it's analyzing business, and analyzing market. So for us, it's easier, it's more safety way to invest in the more mature business, where which already have a strategy, already have a business traction, and already have some kind of reporting, and we can communicate effectively with the guys who can do financial model, and with whom we can discuss it.
And can you please elaborate a little bit more on the difference, because what you just described also can be referred to the A stage. And honestly, sincerely, I work in this industry for more than 10 years, but I still sometimes is missing the difference between A and B, or later seed and seed. So what is for you?
Well, I think that a key criteria for us, it's revenue. So I know that A stage in Russia and A stage in Silicon Valley, it's completely different sizes and completely different companies. But how we see the best candidate for us, it's a company which already have a revenue. For example, at the size maybe at least $10 million, $10 or more $million. So better if it's profitable, but it's okay if not, if it's not. And it's clear, it has a confirmed business model, and it has a strategy going forward in the UK, in the US, in Europe. So, and the founders know how to do that, how to do that. Not only dreams, how to, okay, we will go to the US, we will buy tickets to the aircraft, so landing at San Francisco, and you will see a unicorn in a year after that.
So if the startup has the traction, but not yet 10 million per year and above, if they work, for example, with recognized corporate clients and partners who can ensure sustainable deal flow for the next few years, will you consider this project or not? For you, it's hard differentiation.
No, it's not hard differentiation. We are looking at the earlier stage projects. So because, you know, sometimes the early stage project, maybe it's the current stage is early for us, but in the year, it will be okay for us. Or maybe during the deal process, which takes usually it's a few months. So the company can reach some traction, which is okay for us. And you know, that key factor for us is the growth perspective. If we trust in the company, trust in the founders, so we can consider it and do this investment.
And if for your focus, traction in UK, in Europe is obligatory factor, why do you have an office in Hong Kong?
Well, it's kind of legacy because you know when this sanction stuff started in 2014, so we started looking for alternative source of funds. So and we communicated a lot with our Eastern partners. So in China, in Japan, and Southeast Asia. And we did a lot of work with analyzing this market. So, but we not succeed there a lot. So we have some, but you see that with all the old friends from Germany is better.
Old friends of Germany, yeah. Sounds really good.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because you know the. Last first 20 years from early 90s, Russians and Europeans and Americans do a lot of job to develop Russian investment market from the scratch. And now when all these connections was broken in 2014, so we started to this way gained from with Eastern partners. But you know the cultural difference it's quite bigger in comparison with Europeans and Americans. So and this way is not short. And as I know, the most successful examples is some communication and collaboration on the government level. You know, RDIF, for example, very successful in that, and some Eastern funds like Mubadala has an office in Moscow, and they do investments here. In co-investments with RDIF. So we see that this gate is also open, and we consider the different opportunities, how to survive, how to do the business, and how to grow.
But you have some LPs from Asia, or not yet?
Not yet.
And what do you give to startup in addition to money? If I remember correctly, you also are in the smart investment field. So what do you provide them with?
Well, you know, we have experience of in developing startups, in developing corporate governance in startups, and do the public. So we have two successful IPOs in our history. It's EPAM and Moscow Exchange. So and when we discuss with startups what we can offer, first of all, it's our investment base because we have, of course, some LPs, and this is global funds of funds, and they have funds, their LPs in some European venture funds and American venture funds. And when we show them a new deal, so they usually help us. They connect us with another funds in their network. So we are helping with the new fundraising, and also we are helping with expertise in some sector. For example, if startup need somebody good name, brand name in advisory board. For example, we can help with hiring them, because you know that these experienced smart guys need some traction for startups, and if a startup has a reputable investor, sorry, it's a good sign that some experienced guy can join the team and join the board. So, and also we can help with searching with M&As in Europe or in the US, because we know how to do that. We have all of our experience. It's deals, it's investments or M&A deals, and we can help with M&A strategy and so expansion in Europe and in the US.
Oh, that is really great. Does it mean that in the context of M&A, you actually work with strategic investors and corporates?
Yes, we work with both, because you know that any investor is searching for exit. So, and for us, it's essential to work with the corporates and to know how we will exit from any investments. And there are only two ways to do an exit from a startup. It's to do an IPO or to sell the company to strategic buyer. And we are always in the contact with potential strategic buyers, and we can find, if we don't in contact now, we can find the right contacts, right people, and start the process and to investigate whether it's potential investment interesting, and how to do that, how to do this deal, maybe not right now, but in 3-4 years, when the company will grow and we can sell them to strategic investors. But also when we invest, we help to find some corporate clients. For example, when we invested in Get 2 years ago, all our partners, directors, searched all their contacts and make an intro for potential corporate clients for Get.
So actually you help them with lead generation and corporate sales, which is actually the headache for any company or at any stage.
Yeah. Because we are interested in company growth. So if we can help with the corporate sales, we help, of course.
Mm-hmm. And I love what you said, that you are doing this M&A help and help with the IPO. So can I call you a kind of last mile service for growing tech startups? Because it is actually the last step before announcing that you are now successful case.
Yes, it's very good world, and I really like it. It's like we last mile investors. So before to become a unicorn.
You can use it in your messaging. I give it for you for free.
Thank you very much.
And how you usually organize it? I mean, for example, the company which pitches to you has already few tens of millions per year revenues, and thinks over selling to the corporate client, but they have no clue. So they have ideas that their clients can be, for example, Boeing or Airbus, but they don't have proper access. So you are actually just converting your network.
Well, sometimes yes. Usually it's it's done via communication. So, for example, we ask the company, okay, what clients do you want? They say, okay, Boeing, Airbus, etc. And they think, okay, I know the guy in Airbus. Okay, we can offer you Airbus. Boeing, okay, maybe not Boeing. Maybe we know a guy from IBM. So, do you need a guy from IBM? Yes, we need a guy from IBM. So, and it's how it works. Actually, we don't have a special sales department which which help companies for corporate clients. We just do it organically, because You know, Russia is, for example, Russia, it's a very small market, and almost everyone knows everyone. So, and if some company want to enter the Russian market, so if, for example, if it's located in Belarus or in Ukraine, so we can help with the contacts with, we know the corporates, because a lot of good companies, good Russian companies are have investors for investment funds in their shareholder in their cap table, and you know, we know most of the Russian financial investors. So, and easy for us to find the right contact, because everyone want to grow, and everyone want good clients or good service providers.
And if it is a European or American company who wants to enter Russian market to expand their sales?
Yeah, we can help for sure. Actually, we have one of our portfolio companies, Global FinTech Solutions. It's actually it's specializations to work with the Israeli startups and help them to launch the Russian business, because you know, Russian market for most of the European startups, it's quite big. We have big populations. We have a good internet penetrations, mobile device, and we are, and the culture are very close to European, so we understand each other. It's easier for Europeans and for Americans to enter the Russian market than for some kind of Asian markets, where culture is quite different, and populations, sometimes it's not so well educated. Sometimes the population is maybe poor for using the device or technologies. But Russia, yes, we are a developing country in some world. So, and we have a lot of what to disrupt, what to develop, and
that is really
so
neat.
welcome.
I can confirm this is super needed service on the market. We received so many requests from European companies, and not only from Europe, on how to enter Russian market, because it is a black hole for those who don't speak language, who don't have partners there yet, and who don't know how to enter this market in a safe manner. So that really sounds like a great opportunity. And how do you actually select the startup? So when you have this pipeline of projects which match with your idea of annual revenue, etc., what is the next step?
Well, actually, we do internal due diligence, and we're analyzing 4 areas. It's market, it's company, it's deal, and it's exit. So we do the analysis on these 4 areas, and then make a decision whether it's okay for us or not.
So this is very different from earlier stage venture investor would answer, because they would definitely put on one of the first places team, and you did not even mention it.
Well, the team is included in company, so company area. Because we're analyzing not only team, but also the product, quality of product, technology, strategy, financials, and also team, of course. When we are analyzing startups, we spend time of communicating not only with CEO or founder, but with other core team members. We're analyzing their motivations, how they come here, what they find useful in this company, and why are not leaving it for Google, Facebook, and other big names which can offer a better salary and better terms. So, but for us, as we invested not in early stage startups, team it's only one part of the analysis. For us, it's also important to look at the size of the market, its market drivers, barriers to entry, you know, and of course, sometimes when everything's good, it's evaluation of the startup is quite high for that. So we don't see how we can make our good returns on that. because it's good companies value a lot.
Yeah, that is true. And how long does this due diligence take you?
Well, usually it's several months, at least 4 months, and up to, and the normal time is 6 months, but sometimes it can be longer. But it's longer not because we are so bureaucratic and we do a lot of investment committees and other things. Just usually it's because of communication. So we discuss the terms. Sometimes we agreed everything, and we starting to drafting the legal documents, and now it's becoming hell. And there was a deal in my experience when we agreed almost everything before starting drafting SPA, SHA, and when we started doing that, it's because a total mess, and we starting from the beginning and spent 1 year for that, and still didn't agree everything, and we decided not to invest actually, and the founder decided that it's don't need a investor actually.
That sounds crazy. You see, guys, not only founders suffer from investors' bureaucracy or processes, but sometimes investors also suffer from insanity from founder side. So I wish both sides could be more willing to go towards the agreement. And on your opinion, Alexey, what are the major differences between your task in evaluation and cherry picking the best projects and the earlier stage investor?
I think the key difference that early stage investments and pay more attention to the perspectives of the startups and less attention to the traction of the startups. But we more focus on the traction and of course to perspective too. But we need proven traction, and we evaluate it more proven traction and step by step plan how to implement this strategy. Because sometimes in early stage startup they have some kind of vision, some kind of good technology, and the team need to check hypotheses one by one and to become a big company. And the companies which we are looking for, they already checked a lot of hypotheses and their strategy, how they will grow, how they will reach the size for IPO or strategic sale. So if the company maybe don't know this at the beginning of communication, we're always asking, okay, do your homework, think about it, and if it's useful for us at first. So if you know what to do, you can communicate not only with us but with other investors, and you know what to do. So, and sometimes it's another reason why we do deals so long. Our deal process so long.
Okay. And what about your deal origination process? You mentioned yourself that you have quite a challenging task finding startup founders and companies from with deep connections with Eastern Europe and post-Soviet space, plus having great track record, great revenue, etc. How do you find these starts?
The easiest way is that some companies can come to us by themselves because they know us and they are pitching us. Another way, it's the companies of our size using investment banks and investment boutiques who already know us and they are connecting us. So the third way of sourcing, and we are visiting conferences. We are looking at maybe we can do some kind of cold calling or cold writing in LinkedIn if we see some interesting company and we don't have a direct connection with that. But I think that these free sources, it's direct connections, it's investment banks, and I can also add another funds who are helping their startups to raise new round. They know us, and they can pitch their portfolio companies to us. And the conferences, it's the free key sources of the new deals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking of earlier stage funds as probably a good partners for potential deals for the future rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexey, I remember that you have a limited time today. So my last question for today is, what advice would you give to startup founders? You listen to so many pitches, and I guess that the percentage of successful deals with the startups is much less than the number of pitches you listen. What should they prepare before going to investor like you or Da-Vinci Capital Fund in order not to fail in the conversation?
Well, I think the key factor for startup for starting a good conversation with the fund is ability to explain your products and your differentiation in one sentence. Because sometimes you're looking at materials and 10, 20 slide presentations, and you completely don't understand what the products and what problem is solving. Because you can see this, okay, AI market, it's hockey stick, forecasts, everything is big. We have a Gazprom in our clients, so everything is very good. But what you actually do, it's sometimes very difficult to understand. And my advice at first is to trying to explain what you do in one sentence. And second one, it's to show to show how you compare with your peers or with well-known companies, because it's easiest way to explain to investors, okay, we do Facebook for somebody or Uber for somebody. It's okay. But if we solve some very complicated problem which nobody know is it actually peers, it's difficult. And if we see that, yeah, we understand the business model, then we see, yes, it's the company operates on the good market, so show the market, show competitors, and then show your traction. If you succeed in something, it's very good. And show your perspective, because good traction is good, but good traction plus excellent perspective with the hockey stick, it's very good. So, and the last thing, it's always think how much money you need and how you will spend it. Because sometimes we start in discussing the deal with startup, and they say, okay, we don't know how much money we need, so we can spend them, we don't know, maybe for engineers, maybe for marketing, maybe we don't know, maybe acquire somebody. So when you start talking with investors, always know what you are asking for. If you're asking for $1 million, you have to explain how you're gonna spend it. So for Bentley, or maybe for entering new market.
Thanks a lot. It's just the truth with which nobody could argue. Every point you mentioned is really a pain point when we listen to startup pitches. So just guys, I'm summarizing. First of all, make bright pitch where you explain what is your product and its value. Sometimes indeed it is impossible to understand even at the 20th slide. So you can watch some videos explaining you how to do it, but clear messaging of what you are doing. Second, what is your differentiation with other companies on the market? How are you different with competitors and other companies? And third, how much money do you need and for what purposes, how you will spend them? That is what Alexey recommends you, and I support him with my two hands to prepare before pitching to Da-Vinci Capital and any other investor. Alexey, thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you, and I wish to find new unicorns among InnMind network, among users of this video, and among your network as well. I hope to see new deals in Da-Vinci Capital soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, for everyone who watched this video, and hope we will meet somewhere and do a good deals, which can bring a lot of money or any profit for everyone.
Absolutely, so. That's a great summary. Thank you, Alex. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.